Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to the Ryujin 2.1 complete tutorial. So here is where we left off last time in part 7. This is episode 8 now, and it's coming together very well. And in this part, we're gonna finish the collapsing, and then in the next part, we'll probably get started on the shaping. So let's start. Today we're gonna be doing the transition units and scales for the second half of the model. So we need to work on the transition unit, so I'm going to take off the clips to where we collapsed the head last time and just unfold a fair bit of this like that. It's pretty easy to refold later, but we just need to open like this. And also I'm going to take out the pleats that we had in here and basically just press that up. So take out everything really over here. Just going to open it up. The good news is with all the pleats running through it, all this is very likely to lie flat, so that's good. So now I'm just going to try to continue this along the top a little bit extra. So just like this. And this should be lying pretty flat. Just going to push all that out of the way for right now. So this is the last stretch of scales when the model comes together like this that will lead up to the head over here. So what we need to do is they need to be in the same direction as where the scales for the lower body was, which should be pretty easy. So now we just need to start making the transition units all the way down. So I'm just going to start on this first one here, which is just taking this one and folding it over. And you should remember from episode 5 when we did the transition units, I think, then this is really just, we're folding that over, and then we're going to squash it, and then wrap the second half around. It's not too difficult. Let's see. Alright. There we go. Now, just press that in. It's a lot easier if you turn it over a lot. And pull the paper out. Alright, so that's the first bit, first transition unit. Now we have it already turned over for the second one. And the ones up here are going to be a little bit trickier to collapse just because all the paper is wanting to go to the head-neck connection. We got to flatten it out, but it shouldn't be too hard. There we go, and then just flatten this. Press that in there. And when you're turning it over, what you're looking for is this little corner that should be popping out. A half corner. Halfway down. And now just finish the transition units all the way down the model. Alright, so now that we have all the transition units finished, we can start working on the scales. Now the scales, you can either start from this side or this side, but one side's going to be a little bit easier than the other because it's easier to collapse in one direction. So I'm going to start on this side and then move towards that side so that it'll be a little bit easier to collapse. So to start off this scales, what we're going to do is just go to this corner here. And if you were wondering about the corner of the transition units, how I showed it before, it looks like this. It's the same as the transition unit, but just no part on top. Then the other side's the same thing. But right here, you're going to go to where the scales start and just go here and fold this over like that. And there's no thing like the other side that we did on the tail. You're just taking these parts, unhooking them off of this corner, and then just continuing this down. Now, if we do it again, bring this here, and then this time it'll reach the center where you can do this and make that fold over. Now you just repeat the same process on the bottom. So go to where 2 units are. So you have 2 units up, and then fold this over. And fold that over like that. And then just crease these last 2 parts. This will come to hold together a lot better as you continue along. And it's really just starting the same thing that we did on the other side. So then you'll unhook another unit, bring that down, just right down here, and then this that'll fold over. This will come here, and make sure that when they fold over, they're getting all the scales, just like that. You're getting all the pieces before it, just like that. And then do the same thing right here. We're folding this all the way together. Like that, and then that pleats together there. This folds up. And it really gets a lot easier as you go along. Beginning it is kind of tricky because they don't sit together well, and there's nothing for it to hook on. But once you get past the first couple, it gets a lot easier. So now we have that, and you can see those are the first little bit of scales right there. And then I'll show you one more time. It's basically the exact same. You just bring this all the way down, and then you'll go to this corner this time. We'll reach this, and then that'll just fold over. Just like on the other side. This will come down, this will fold up, and then it's really, the scales you can see are starting to come right there. Then you do the same thing right here, where this just comes along and takes this, and you can just fold that over like that. And then this crease continues down here. So now just do that over and over until you reach probably about, I'm gonna go till right here, so that when we come together right here, we can work on the head-neck connection. So here are the finished scales right here. And now we can work on the head-neck connection. So I've gone until this last part where you pull the paper out, up there. And now we can work on head-neck connection. So I have this test fold that should show you what to do. So what to do first is we're gonna open up the paper down here on this side, so you can see. And now we're gonna make this where we had this last one. So there should be 4 corners up right now. We're gonna take the last one, if you've done it all the way to the last corner, open it up, and we're gonna take this crease all the way down. Now it's kind of like we're doing the same thing, except we're extending just one of these all the way down. Like that. Now what's gonna happen is we're gonna go to the third to last corner, and the third to last corner here, so the third one will meet with that one. But first we're gonna make the first 2 corners right here. So we're gonna make one more of these, so that the first 2 corners up top are lying flat and just stretching past the middle, just like this. And we're just gonna continue it down to where we finished creasing and pre-creasing. Now we're gonna take the last and second to last corners and fold those so that they meet. These are gonna meet up with these creases right here, like this, just like that. And right here, they should meet up at this point. And then you can just do the same thing we had down here and fold this piece over and do the same thing right here, like that. And these should just fold over and start to make an edge right here, just where this was. And that can fold over just like on the test fold, and it should look like that. So it will fold over just to the head neck connection, like that. You can press that down. Now we need to work on the other side. Now the other side's a little bit harder. So what we do is we're gonna open up this side of the head neck connection, of this transition part right here. And we're gonna do these 2 right here starting at the bottom. So we should have the first 2 undone and then the last 2 should be flat. So we're gonna I'm gonna start with the second one and just fold it up to where this is, and then do the first one edge. It's not folded all the way down, and that should go up to here, and these can fold over now. So these, we're done over there. So you can see the head neck connection is laying a lot flatter. And right here, I'm just gonna fold this under. I just made a mountain fold through the whole thing, and it folds flat a little bit better. Just like that. So that is that part of the head neck connection. And now we just need to work up here. So for right here, what this does is you can see you tuck it underneath like that. So if you look on the other side, it just folds over like this. So to start with, I'm just gonna do what we did on the other side and make those creases that meet up with this and push them together right here. So now we have these creases here, and they all meet up at a point here. But the problem is we have to sink it inside. So the easiest way to do that, I think, is to turn it over. First I'm going to press this up and just get this so that it lies flat well. That. Now turn this over, and you're going to want to push it out like this, and you should have something that looks like this. So you'll have this coming out, and it's important to remember which direction you want to fold this over on. So we're going to be folding it over in this direction, like that. And if you flip it back over, you can kind of tweak it a little bit, press things into position. And what we're gonna do is right here, this all folds up. And you have to press it to this side, where this is gonna fold over on an edge like this. So it should look something like that when that folds over. And then this piece right here is gonna fold over as well. So it's kind of a fold that goes through the whole thing and then over. So just get it all in position right here, and I'll zoom in a little bit more. So it should look something when you're pressing it together like this. So this folds over right like that. This, it was standing up, you push it through and fold it over, but this won't lie flat. What you need to do is turn it over, and this corner right there needs to be pushed in. So to do that, just open this up, and you gotta close sync that corner inside. So press that in. What that means you need to do is press that, once you press that corner in, you should see this, when it comes up, this locks over in a corner like that. And then this right here should come up, this crease should go right in there like that. And this should fold over. So something like that, where both creases go inside. And you can see this piece in here, if you unfold it, is just going like that. That gets tucked under. And if you flip it back over, you should see it all very nicely stays together like that. And that is the completed head-neck connection. For a better view, it looks like this. We have this piece coming in, and then there's a little edge on top of it. When you take that, you should be able to fold that over on top of there. Then the same thing right here. This should fold over as well. And it's all because you're making this crease half here, and then a whole crease here. And that should just fold up nicely like that. And then on the other side, you just flip it over. You can see that it all just fits into itself like that. Now, if we fold this corner behind, we can work on the final bit of the head neck connection, which is this. So if you pop this up, then this is, we can lock it all back together like this, and we make these creases in here like that. And then this should just fold up nicely in there. But first, before we do that, it's a little bit easier to do if you take these little corners in here and reverse fold them downwards. So just go like that and push that in. Do a reverse fold there, reverse fold there, and just do that all the way down through the model. And that will make it so that when we fold this over, it will be able to get on that edge and it won't have all those problems. Alright, so once you've done that, it'll be a little bit easier to get around this edge. And just make a mountain fold all the way down. Start by just pinching through it to reinforce the edge. Like that. And then you can start to go back through and fold it up. And I'm just going to hold it in place with clips. Like this. And the scales should just go nicely along the top. The bottom ones will probably curve a little bit and not fit perfectly, but that's okay. That happens a lot. Now, it should be right up to here. And you can really take this and just fold it up like that. And now this is where we're gonna have to get the neck twist to start to come in place. So the neck twist is, you might have noticed that if the head stayed as it was, then the stomach scales, or the stomach pleats, right here, the head would be upside down. So that's why we need to do a neck twist. And the neck twist basically just flips the head to the right way up. So I'm just gonna take this and then start to make a light crease along here and clip that, just so that this can come up to here and we can work on the neck twist like that. So this is what it should look like. This should be all out of the way. Now the only thing we have left to do, so the model is fully collapsed now, which is really good. But now to get it to the final position before we're ready to shape it, we need to do the neck twist. So basically right now, but if we tried to collapse it, the head would be upside down, because these are the whiskers and then this is the mouth and this is the stomach right here. So what to do is we need to start the neck twist to flip the head upside down. Alright, so now we're gonna make the neck twist. So to do the neck twist, we need a couple different creases, and you can see what the neck twist does is it has it so that the head can be on the same side as the rest of it. So if it's like this, and it would fold over like this, it twists it around like that. So to make the neck twist, you need several different parts from different creases in your model. So I'm going to open this up just so you can see. The hardest creases are these two right there. So we'll make those first. So it's kind of a zigzag up like that. And what you do is on this side, you fold over and you see right here. And this is a crease right here. So if you can valley fold along that, this is a valley fold there. So you can see what happens. It's really, really hard because there's so many layers. So that's the valley fold. And behind that, we do the rest of the folds, which is all the other layers of the entire model. So first we need to make this mountain fold to see where all that goes. So that is basically this bit and then just 1-2 units down. So we have this and then 1-2 units down. So that would be right here. That's also at the base of this bit right here. Now we need to pull all the layers out, and this is our crease right here, like that. Now what we do is, you can see the creases we have to make. So take this mountain fold and fold through all those units. And it's easiest if you do it one layer at a time. Like that, and you make a valley fold right along there. Alright, so there's the valley fold. I went through and individually creased the layers, just doing a couple at a time. Now we can work on the next part, which is a valley fold right here. So if you make a mountain and fold all that under, this should come around here. And if that valley, we need to make another one right here. And don't let this extra bit coming out right here, don't let that trip you up. You just go past it, so it'll probably overlap a little bit, but that's okay. Everything else is the same. So now you can see that we have two diagonal creases running like this. And that's good right there. Now we need to work on the rest of this. So right here, as you can see in this model, we need to make a crease that comes up and splits that in half and splits that in half. So we're just going to come and fold this in half, just like this. And you can turn it over to see how precise you are. Just like that. And then do the same thing coming down this way. So just make a fold halfway through this. Then to make this a lot easier, turn it over and reverse the other folds. So these folds that were already there, not the ones we just made, but that we're going to have to reverse for when we do the neck twist. Just like that. And like that. So now you can kind of begin to collapse that part. So it should come together like this. And then that should go in place. So I'm just gonna crease that and clip that off over here. Now, what we need to do is, you'll see there's another crease we need to make over here. So, right on this side, you'll see that this kind of collapses like this, but there's a crease that goes right here, and then a dip in the middle, and right like that. So, that is the diagonal crease right there. So then we have the dip in the middle, and then right here is the other diagonal crease. So we're gonna work on these mountain folds and just practice closing that in. And you can turn the model over and figure out where they are and reinforce the creases. Like that. So those are some of the main creases. And then you'll see another main part of it is a mountain fold on this side, but that kind of reflects this part. So when we fold this mountain fold here, it's a mountain fold just because it folds on the edge underneath the model. So this and that valley fold should be right like that. Now we need to make a mountain fold down here on this edge. So do the same thing with reversing these little corners all the way down. So reverse this one, just tiny little reverse folds in there, reversing those little bits of scales that hung down out, and just continue doing that all the way down so that we can fold this edge under and then this back up. So now, once you've done that, go along and try to make a mountain fold just like we did on the other side. Make it all the way down. And those little reverse folds, try to hide them along the paper because you don't really want to see those pop out on the edges because they don't look as good. But you can do that once the neck twist is done and it's before it gets shaped. So now just fold this over, and while you're doing that, fold this edge up like this, and I'm just going to use clips to hold it in place. And that's important because that's how some creases of the neck twist will get into place with that valley fold. And make the mountain fold go a fair bit, and then just follow up with the valley fold. And just continue along here. And now just go up to here, just where where it started. And then when this converts to here, just leave that, and then we'll fix that in a little bit. But now that we have the whole bottom finished like that, you'll see the scales are starting to come together a lot more. And you can see that it would just wrap around this body here, and then that would be Ryujin. So, now, continue to make all these creases, and now we need to make the little dip in there. So just reinforce that. It's a tiny little V that goes, so we have this crease and this crease. We need that V in the middle. Then we also need to do right here 2 more creases that lead to the center and can start the mountain fold down the center. So like that. Now you should see that is most all of the creases for the neck twist. So now we need to make this. So right here we need to twist that and make a mountain fold right here that comes up like that. So that is a big part of the neck twist. And now get all these layers back here and twist right there so that those fold back, and then this single layer right here just comes up. Like that. And then just hold that in place for a little bit. Now you should see this come out in the center like that. And now that we have the neck twist part like that, we can fold this over, and you can start to see how the neck will twist like that. And that is the hardest part of the neck twist because there's so many layers right there. So just really hold that in place, and you should see it just twists like that. And right here you can make sure to reinforce these folds, and those folds right there are the creases that come right here, so that when those fold in, that will fold over. So I'm going to leave that right there so you can see that as this collapses, and this is going to fold on that edge, and the same thing there. Then the middle pops out like that, and this folds in half. So you want to have the head all together. So I'm going to fold all this to here and kind of get it all with one clip and just keep it together like that. So now this twists. And this part's really, really difficult. So if this folds up here, now we can do this closed sink part where this comes in like that. And that should look like that. It should trace along that edge. So this, when we fold it up, should just come right down here, and that would lead onto the center crease. So if that's leading onto the center crease, that's good. And now press this up. And I'm going to take this clip off because we need this mountain fold right there. And you can see that will fold like that. Now that over. And you want to get the sides first to twist. before you get the middle, because the middle is the part that will fall into place the most. And now I'm going to turn it over and look at the middle, and we need to make a mountain fold that comes just right there to reinforce that. Then this should come in there, and when that twists, this should pop in like that. And this will probably take a little bit to get because there's so many creases right here. So just focus on folding that and just pressing it all into place, and it should come together with something like this. Alright, so there is the neck twist. Looks like this. And then that folds in there. And then this twists like that. And then this little corner here, just fold that all the way in. And then it should just fold along the side, perpendicular, or just with the other creases. Just like that. In there. It's not in a diagonal, but it just, what it does is when this all comes together, it just folds down like that. And there is the neck twist for Ryujin 2.1. So that is where I'm going to end this episode off today. Thank you so much for watching. For the next episode, make sure that the neck twist is super strong. Maybe put a couple books on it and just let it sit for a while, and just a lot of heavy things on it, and it'll stay here in this position a little bit better. And after that, then we can work on shaping. So congratulations if you made it to this point. This is, you've fully collapsed Ryujin 2.1. So that is a big accomplishment. So everyone who made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you've made it this far, because this is a very big journey. And see you in the next video.